Baseball is fun. This is we're so excited to see you all here. So we previously did a video, our first video on the Arizona Diamondbacks and their playoff history. We got a lot of positive response, a lot of just great encouragement to keep doing this. So we just want to say thank you for that. As you can tell by the hat I'm wearing, it's kind of an 80s, the blue, the red outline on the A and the white. We're going to talk about the Atlanta Braves, clearly the team of the 90s, and we're going to look at their playoff history. Now, let me just show you guys this wonderful, I'd like to shout out to Microsoft and Microsoft Excel, just this wonderful document that shows the Braves and their playoff history. Now, we're just focused on the performance as it relates to National League playoffs. So World Series records are not accounted to this. This is purely National League to National League. So you're not going to see Yankees. You're not going to see even the Astros, the 2021 World Series in there. We're going to see the other series with the Astros, but let's go ahead and dive in. So first here, we have the Braves, and this is kind of alphabetical order. Maybe I screwed it up somewhere, but just go with it. But first, we have the Arizona Diamondbacks against the Atlanta Braves. Now, we look at the overall record of the Braves. They're 15-20 in the NL playoffs as of 2024, which is when this video has been filmed. And this is starting in 1969. So this is when the League Championship Series started. It was 1969. So we didn't include any data before that. It's just from 69 to 2024. So first, let's look at the Arizona Diamondbacks versus the Braves. Now, the Braves have faced them once and lost to them in the National League Championship Series in 2001. That was one of the most epic World Series when the Diamondbacks played the Yankees, but oh, sorry, Braves couldn't get past the D-backs. This next one is against the Chicago Cubs. Nice 1-1, nice symmetrical record between each other. Braves got them in 98 when they were in the roaring 90s. In the NLDS, and then in 2003, the Cubs repaid the favor in the National League Division Series. And if you remember what happened in 2003, if you're a Cubs fan, let me just stop there. So let's look at the Cincinnati Reds. And can I just comment? I love that Reds logo, the little baseball-headed guy, very much similar to what the Mets, as far as Mr. and Mrs. Met. But the Braves have a 2-0 record against the Cincinnati Reds. They beat them in the 95 NLCS. Braves went on to beat Cleveland that year for the World Series title. And then in 2020, during that scrambled 60-game season, strange playoff kind of testing ground, they beat Trevor Bauer and the Reds 2-0. And again, in 1995, so this is a nice little playback who we just talked about the Reds. So 95, the Braves path was Rockies, NLDS, Reds, NLCS. And then let's get into the Astros. So the Braves against the Astros it's crazy. Well, crazy is such a relative term, but the Astros were 1-9, or we could say the Braves were 9-1 against the Astros these first three playoff series in 1997, 1999, and 2001. So the Braves just absolutely dominated the Astros. And then in 2004, the Astros actually got their first ever playoff series win against the Braves in 2004. Beating them in 5 games. And then in 2005, the Astros got their second ever playoff series win against the Braves with the Chris Burke walk-off home run. Insane game. I think it was 18 innings, 16 innings, something like that. And then you have the Braves and the Dodgers. So a lot of battles between these two teams. 96 NLDS, Braves took out the Dodgers. Dodgers returned the favor in 2013. NLDS, 2018 NLDS, Dodgers again won. And then in 2020, the NLCS, which took place in Arlington because of COVID, the Dodgers won again. But then in 2021, the most recent championship for the Braves, they won against the Dodgers. Let's look at the Marlins and the Braves. The 97 NLCS is when Marlins, they built the team up. Was it Jack McKeon or no, the other guy who was the Pirates manager who, anyways, not Jack McKeon, but anyways, he led the Marlins to winning the World Series against the Braves. And then in 2020, the Marlins' first ever playoff defeat came at the hands of the Atlanta Braves. Oddly enough, in 2020, the series took place in Houston, Texas at Minute Maid Park. Little fun fact there. Now let's look at the Brew Crew. Again, best logo in sports, potentially. Definitely in baseball. The Braves took out the Brewers in 2021. All I remember from that is the whole Jock Peterson, the Pearls, and things like that. And then in 1969, so this is again where we first start. This is actually the first ever National League Championship Series between the Miracle Mets, the 1969 Mets, and the 1969 Braves. And Hank Aaron was actually on this Braves team, but they couldn't get the job done against the Mets, who then went on to steamroll the Orioles in the World Series. And then 1999, the Braves got the revenge 30 years later against the Mets. The Phillies certainly seem to have the Braves number. So the 93 NLCS was between the Braves, pitching rich Braves, against the Philadelphia Phillies, the Macho Row Philadelphia Phillies, Darren Daulton, John Kruk, Mickey Morandini, Curt Schilling, Ken Batiste. So Braves couldn't get the job done, even though they came back to beat the Giants, from way down to make it to the NLCS. But this is actually the last year before they introduced the wild card format. And then in 2022, the Braves were the defending champs, and they could not get past the Phillies. And then it happened again the next year in 23 in the NLDS. So Phillies definitely have the number of the Braves when it comes to the playoff series. However, the state of Pennsylvania, it's very different because you have the Phillies dominant, and then the Braves, those really famous, just high drama, Sid Bream, whatever you want to, Barry Bonds' last seasons in Pittsburgh. Braves just won consecutive league championship series against the Pirates, and then they lost both World Series. In 91, they lost to the Twins, and that awesome World Series. And then 92, they lost to the Blue Jays. And let's look at San Diego Padres. Braves lost to the 98 Padres in the NLCS. That's the Padres team with Kevin Brown, Tony Gwynn. And then recently here, about a month or so ago, they lost in the National League Wild Card Series to the Padres, coming off a doubleheader against the Mets where they split it. So they both made the playoffs, and then the Diamondbacks were left out. Against the San Francisco Giants, the Braves just haven't won against them either in this format. They lost to the NLDS in 2002 and in 2010 being when the Giants won the World Series. And then at the Redbird, St. Louis Cardinals, the 82 NLCS was a good series, but Cardinals won, and then 82 Cardinals actually went on to beat the Brewers in the World Series. They lost the Braves lost the 90s. They won the 96 NLCS. I was like, 90s, that Braves always win. They beat the Cardinals in the 96 NLCS, then lost the 2000 NLDS, National League Wild Card, and then the 2019 NLDS. So overall, my opinion is the Braves have nothing. If you're a Braves fan, you should be so proud of just the amount of just playoff experience. It's hard to make the playoffs, let alone have success. But there's so many different stigmas of the Braves in the 90s. They only got one World Series. But I say if you're in it and you're in it every year consistently doing well, yes, there's going to be a lot of heartache. But I think the fact that your team is so good has to be so exciting. And it's hard to win a World Series. It's very difficult. And so, anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, block us. No, don't block us. Just good. We're good, clean fun here. But thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a great day. We will do the Cubs next, so look out for the Cubs video.